W&J family. It was on this day 102 years ago at this hour that the armistice was signed, bringing about the end of hostilities in the First World War, supposedly the war to end all wars. Well, on this Veterans Day, we are grateful to the students and alumni, the faculty and staff of this college who have served in our nation's armed forces throughout the history of W&J and indeed throughout the history of America, all the way back to the American Revolution when students of John McMillan, our founder, served in the Continental Army. We're also proud at this time to be celebrating the 50th anniversary of Washington and Jefferson College becoming a coeducational institution. Since that time, women graduates of W&J have gone on to enrich every field of endeavor, including the United States military. And so it is fitting that to address you today, we have invited Diane Wainwright of the class of 1986. Diane graduated from W&J and went on to law school, but not before enlisting in the United States Army Reserve. During Operation Desert Storm, Captain Wainwright commanded the 630th Army Transportation Company and earned the Bronze Star. Today, she continues to be a successful and well-known attorney in the Pittsburgh area, serving clients in the professional fields. She's a community leader, and most of all, she's a devoted alumnus of Washington and Jefferson College. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce you to Diane Wainwright.
Thank you, Dr. Knapp. I am humbled and honored to be with you here this morning, sharing some thoughts about this important day we call Veterans Day. I grew up in a family where we celebrated Veterans Day and Memorial Day, and there were town celebrations, there were class assemblies, presentations from the American Legion and the American Legion Auxiliaries, and there were prayers for our soldiers, our veterans, and our country. My grandfather, my father, my two brothers, my niece, and I have all served in the United States military. As I begin today's remarks, I want to take some time to honor and recognize one of Washington and Jefferson's very own veterans and alumni who served our country and our college with distinction. This W&J alum is our very own Susan Kepler, formerly Lieutenant Colonel Kepler. Susan graduated from Washington and Jefferson College in 1974. In her senior year at W&J, she actually enlisted in the United States Army. Upon graduation, she joined the Army and was commissioned. Thereafter, Susan was in the Military Intelligence Corps, and she served many places. Perhaps her favorite place was Alaska, where she had the opportunity to command soldiers, and she was promoted from captain to major. Susan went on and served for 21 years and retired as a lieutenant colonel in the United States Army. And when she retired, she left one post that she dearly loved, but it wasn't too long before she found another post she dearly loved at Washington and Jefferson College. In 1993, Susan joined W&J for her nearly 27-year work and dedication to the college. 2020 marks the 50th year when W&J opened its doors to female students. Susan was among the women who, in 1970, entered that first freshman class that included women. As we honor our veterans today, I wanted to send a special salute to Susan, Lieutenant Colonel Kepler, recognizing Susan Kepler for her dedication and service to both Washington and Jefferson College and to our country. Thank you, Susan. Veterans Day dates back to November 11, 1918, when on that day, at the 11th hour, an armistice was declared between the Allied nations and Germany. It was the end of World War I. Following 1918, November 11 was annually recognized as Armistice Day. And in 1938, Armistice Day became a federal holiday. The legislation that enacted Armistice Day as a federal holiday stated, "This day is dedicated to the cause of world peace and to be thereafter known as Armistice Day." Years, we called it Armistice Day, and then in 1954, the name was changed to become Veterans Day, a day to honor all veterans from all wars. Originally set aside as a day to commemorate the end of hostilities in 1918 and dedicated to the cause of peace. The day now is to be observed to honor all veterans of all armed forces. However, I suggest that as we change the name of this important day, perhaps we should both honor our veterans with remembering this important day as Veterans Day, but maybe rekindle the concept of dedicating ourselves to peace. World peace, of course, but peace here in the United States of America. Yes, it is important to take time, to take this day to set aside and honor our veterans. Abraham Lincoln said, "Any nation that does not honor its heroes will not long endure." Lincoln knew that if, as a nation, we forget our veterans, their sacrifice, their commitment, that as a nation, we will not be as vigilant in our own quest to preserve America and strive to become that more perfect union. We as a nation must take time to remember, to show our gratitude, to pray for veterans, to honor their service, to thank them for putting on that uniform and taking the oath to preserve and protect us. When we do this, we rekindle our own love of country and patriotism, and that's a good thing. We live in an amazing, thought-provoking, frustrating, sometimes difficult country called the United States of America. We go about our lives mostly not thinking about the soldiers who protect us every day, but on this day we remember and we thank them. We do this for them indeed, but we do this for ourselves as well. So it is right to honor and reflect and show gratitude today, but that is not enough. So the speech won't end right here. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I'm asking you to do more than honor and remember today. I'm asking you, in fact, I'm challenging you to honor veterans each and every day by rededicating yourselves to this country and by doing three things. My challenge to you is this: be a builder, build a bridge. Be a listener and be a learner. If we build a bridge of friendship, if we listen to someone who may not share our views, and if we learn something new about a view that maybe we don't quite understand, we can begin to unite this country. We can begin to rekindle that dedication to peace that came about on the very first Armistice Day. Lincoln said, "America will never be destroyed from the outside. If we falter and lose our freedoms, it will be because we destroyed ourselves." Having witnessed the devastation that the Civil War brought about upon the country, Lincoln knew that foreign adversaries were not our greatest threat. Instead, as his prophetic words pronounce, if we lose our freedoms, if we falter, it will be because we destroyed ourselves. I understand that what I'm asking you to do is not easy, but if we all try between this Veterans Day in 2020 and the Veterans Day in 2021, if we all try to do these three things, maybe we can begin to unite our communities, our families, and indeed our country. We just came through a difficult, divisive, and sometimes mean-spirited election. The vote was split, 74 million people one way, 71 million people another way. Both sides entrenched in their beliefs and their understanding that their side was right. We are a split country with dozens, dare I say, hundreds of views from left to right. So having split opinions is one thing, but not being able to have a healthy, thought-provoking, and reasonable conversation is quite another. We can do better. In fact, we owe it to our veterans to do better. We owe it to our veterans to stop the mean-spirited rhetoric and extend a hand of friendship and the listening ear to each other, even with the folks with whom we don't agree. So for our veterans, we owe them our pledge to dedicate ourselves to being builders. When you find someone with whom you don't agree, someone who expresses a different view, I know most of us, including me, well, we politely end the conversation and head for the door. I know that happens. I'm asking us all, including myself, to take a deep breath when that happens and stay. So be that builder, extend the hand of friendship. Now be a listener. So as your blood pressure begins to rise and the person is expressing their views that's different from you, say a silent prayer for calm. Engage in a kind manner. Ask a question about how they came to their position. Explain that you see things differently, but that you want to learn. You want to understand how they came to their position. In fact, ask about their story. Everyone has a story, and most folks are willing to tell you their story. It's okay if we don't agree, but as long as we're ready to listen, that's the first step. Now, you probably won't have to go very far to find someone with whom you don't agree. Why, our families are filled with folks that we don't always see eye to eye on with. Our families, our workplace, the Rotary Club, the places where we worship, our neighborhoods. Indeed, we know people that we don't always agree with. The next time that you find yourself in a conversation where there's something that's not to exactly your point of view, I challenge you to be a listener. Don't shy away. Do your best to listen. And finally, number 3, be a learner. That's right. Learn more about the issues that divide us. You've done your part to extend the hand of friendship and build. You've done your part to be a good listener. Now be a learner. There are probably hundreds of topics that divide our country. Hundreds of topics that you can pick from, that you desire to learn something about. And maybe you think, no, I know my position and I'm not going to change it. That's okay. I challenge you to go one step further, however. Learn something new, something that will help you to engage with that friend or family member or coworker. What are the topics that divide us? You know as well as I do, there are, again, hundreds of them, but I could start and give you a few. Racism, sexism, poverty, climate change, education, and that's just a handful, ladies and gentlemen. You all know those topics that are difficult. It's okay to have difficult topics in this country, but they can't divide us and shouldn't divide us. So on this Veterans Day, I ask you to do these 3 things to honor veterans. Be builders, be listeners, and be learners. At W&J, we learn to be lifelong learners. Take that spirit with you. Thank you for your time. God bless our veterans, God bless our college, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.